All right, you guys, welcome to another episode of Dishin' It Out, where I strive to serve up a helping of tips, tricks, and inspiration to make life tastier, more organized, and just more enjoyable. I'm Lindsay Christofferson. I'm your host, and I'm here to dish it out today with my friend Laura Turba. So, Laura is a busy mom of five. She lives in Tennessee with her husband and her kiddos, and she is the heartbeat behind Motherhood to Mamapreneurship community. She is also a financial pro, and she's passionate about helping moms, families, just helping them find freedom in their faith, family life, and finances. So I cannot wait to hear her wisdom. We're going to dive right in. So, Laura, when we were talking before, like we were talking about having you on this show, you had mentioned that you were going to be sharing some eye-opening facts about things like student debt, life insurance gaps, and even retirement. So could you share with us what is one surprising statistic that you think every family needs to hear?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for having me on here. I really appreciate your friendship, and it's an honor to be on here. But I would say the most surprising statistic would be that 70% of consumers have some debt that they actually leave behind. So when they pass away, they're leaving debt behind. And it's not just a little bit, Lindsay. It's actually quite a bit. It's over 62,000 is the average that they leave for their family, and that's not including their mortgage.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, that is crazy. So what would you say to somebody about that, just in that regard? Like how could someone avoid that?
Well, I mean, just in finance in general, yes, you want to do the regular, budgeting and the planning and things like that. Other than getting an appointment with me directly, to learn a little bit more and get educated about certain types of accounts that are out there, because it may be out there, but not you don't have people that are out there kind of giving you all the information of all these different type of accounts that are available. You have to go and you have to search it and you have to look for it yourself. You have to, it is, and we are in the age of everything's online. So you can just Google things, you can just go to YouTube. But if you want someone that you can trust, someone that will sit down and really help you understand, then that would be, you would have to find someone that you can trust to do that. Yeah, you want to do that, but you want to self-reflect on what you're currently doing. Are you living paycheck to paycheck? Are you putting savings away? Things like that.
Yeah, I do think that's important. I think like where we are in the online world, it is really easy to Google things, but I do think it's important to find somebody that you can trust. So that is really good advice. Um, so you also talked about the power of choice when it comes to finances, and so could you explain to everybody what that means? Like how can families take control now of their financial future?
Yeah. So what we do is actually we empower families to know what is available and not only what's available, but how those accounts work. So for example, things like estate planning, those are hard questions. Most people don't want to talk about. Most
Mhm.
people don't want to um, know what's going to happen in the future. We're kind of living day by day, right? And so it is true not to worry about things that are, that are tomorrow, and just live today, but at the same time, you want to prepare for future. So the first thing you got to ask yourself is, do you have kids? Which most of us do. I know I have, five kiddos. You have five kids, Lindsay, and so we have to think about generational. We have to stop thinking about the now and let me get something now, microwave generation, and we have to start thinking about, the kids and our grandkids and how we can build that legacy wealth. How does someone who works, a full-time job pay or create wealth little by little, right? I mean, and do you even know that it can be created little by little? Because we create, if you're in debt, you pay debt little by little. And the same way that you pay debt off, you can create it. And so, yes, you want to have multiple streams of income. You want to have something that's coming in regularly for bills and things like that. But you want to put things away for the future. You want to have savings, but you want to put things away for your retirement. A lot of people have government design retirement accounts. and we go into work, the first thing that happens when we get into the workplace is we're asked to go ahead and invest in ourselves and invest in the company that we're working for. And so we do. There's nothing wrong with that. But what has created, money for the older generation, like our grandparents and things like that, is not the same vehicle that's going to create it for us and for our kids and for our kids' kids. So it's definitely a topic that I'm very passionate about when it comes down to creating generational wealth for our kids. There are people out there that do want to take that from you and from your children. So, what are you going to do about it if you knew that someone was actually out there, trying to steal that from you without even, without you even knowing it? You're just a regular person doing your regular, day by day things. You're living your life, and you're putting money in certain places, without even knowing or understanding. Most people who have some sort of money, six figures and above, have a financial advisor, but financial advisors may not have a license to share with you certain type of accounts. So you want to be able to know who you can go to in those circumstances. Now, if you don't make six figures, you more than likely don't have a financial advisor. So then what happens from there? What we do is when you talk to us directly, we are discussing certain things and we're doing it for free. I will never talk to you and let you open an account right away. Like seriously, most people are like, "Wait, I can't do it now." Go, why don't you sleep on it and let's follow up at least 24 to 48 hours so that you can really think about it. You can really look at your finances, especially if it's the first time that you've ever heard anything like this before. Because what the accounts that we're talking about, you're going to keep for the remainder of your life, and you're probably gonna, want to send your kids and your kids' kids to us. That's how long, the investment kind of comes in. You want to make sure that that you're aware and that you're educated and that you're empowered to have the power to choose what you want to utilize as that vehicle that's going to increase your money, that's going to give you that compound interest, that's going to give you zero losses and things like that.
I love that. And I don't know exactly where someone can find your information, except for we're totally going to share it in the details of this video. So make sure that you get that to me so that we can share that, because already I want to dive into it more with you. And
Yeah.
I feel like, that all of the viewers probably would feel the same way, that already you feel so trustable. And I would love to just kind of pick apart, my future money and the generations after me to find that as well. So
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
so for the mom that might feel really overwhelmed by all of this, because it's kind of scary to know where to start, can you share, like, what's the most simple first step that they can take to feel more confident with their money?
Yes. Well, the first thing to feel more confident would be to really sit down and take inventory. Take inventory of your finances, even if you don't want to look at it. I know it's crazy to think about, but there are individuals who don't look at it. And actually, there's another statistic. I think 80% of women don't ever actually look at never talk about finances, never look at their finances. And it's just because if you're married, you kind of leave it to your partner. I if you're not, you are required to, but at the same time you have the kids and you have all these things going on and you're just going to work and you just want to pay your bills and you want to figure out what to make for dinner. And that's where Lindsay comes in,
Exactly.
Yeah, I know you sent me some recipes and I actually made sloppy joes the other day. Lindsay, when you reached out to me, I made them for the first time. My
Oh, that's
husband loved
awesome.
them. Yeah, so
Good.
but but yeah, so it would just be taking inventory and just face your fears, write it down because it may seem like you're locked in. It may seem like you have chains, like, oh, like I have to stay at this job that I don't love, and I have to
Mhm.
do this and I have to put my kids, wherever you have to, daycare or whatever it is. Or there's that other side that you have to just be home and not make anything, and you have to kind of, penny pinch everything, and and we create it to be fun, right? To where it's, you're getting sales and deals. I love sales and I love deals too. But face your fears. That would be the most simplest thing. Face your fears, go into your inventory, know what's coming in, know what's going out, know if you have anything extra and where that can be applied. Would that be applied to debt? Can that be applied to an emergency fund? Can that be applied to something like life insurance? People don't know that life insurance is the easiest way to create wealth. Why? Because you're putting little by little away. And actually, right now, it's upgraded. No longer is it needed for just when you pass away for your kids, which is amazing and it's on its own, but now you can also tap into it should you, if it includes living benefits, which means that if you have a situation that's chronic, critical, or terminal while you're still alive, you can tap into those
Oh,
funds without
wow.
having to pay them back. And you can pay, most people overestimate it. So there's about 47% of families out there that have zero life insurance, not even with their employer.
Hmm. Wow, that's cool. I didn't realize that was a
Yeah,
thing either. I thought it was life insurance was just like when someone passes away. So that's neat to learn too.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, Laura, is there anything else that you want to share before we wrap up? Any last things? I really love the take inventory of your money and face your fears. I think that was really good advice.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I wanted to add would be, if you wanted financial education, like I actually wanted to offer your viewers just until March 31st, just because again I have the five kiddos and I just had a baby on December 24th. So that's my fifth baby. But for you guys, there is this value that I want to add. It's free financial education, free estate planning, free financial plan. And it's valued at $10,000. And so I want to be completely transparent. It is free to you. But if you do decide to move forward, the companies actually pay me. So just know that it still eventually gets paid, but it's not going to get paid from you. And if you do have retirement in like a 401(k) and things like that, you want me to view that, I may even be able to get you a bonus, so an executive bonus for yourself as a client. So just know that
Oh,
as well. Isn't that crazy, Lindsay? I just love what I do. I love that I can actually say it freely because I know that it's valuable and I know that people will have their lives changed regardless if you decide to move forward or not. Just the education alone will plant a seed of freedom for your future.
I love that. I do that. I can totally see your passion. So thank you so much, Laura. You have been amazing today. And thank you so much to my listeners for tuning in. I really hope that you're leaving with some great ideas to try to make your life easier. And if you found today's episode helpful, please share it with someone that can use inspiration. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.